My name's Tim Giddy and I drive a 1973 Jensen Healey. She's been accused of being a TVR quite a lot. Also Triumph. A lot of people think she's fiberglass, but I'd say no, I know she's steel. I've cut all the rust out of her. She is amazingly responsive to the throttle. Changed down a gear, I've prodded her right foot and she absolutely flies. I've always had an interest in cars, ever since I can remember. My dad used to work on cars, as most men did in the 70s really, but that was just to keep them going. It wasn't out of interest, but I just lapped it up. I just wanted to be with him all the time when he was with the car. One of my earliest memories of cars was when I was about 4 or 5 years old on holiday, and Mum and Dad wanted me to enter a fancy dress competition, but I was having none of it. Until Dad promised me a drive in the car. I couldn't get that Mad Hatter's costume on fast enough. I got my reward, which was basically sitting on my dad's lap, driving the Vauxhall Victor FB around the campsite. My very first driving experience. Fast forward a decade and a bit, I was 17 and I couldn't wait to start taking my driving lessons. I've got a twin sister. We were both 17, both taking our test at the same place, at the same time with different examiners, and she passed and I didn't. Eventually, at the third attempt, I managed to pass my driving test, so I went out and I got myself a 3-litre GL Ford Granada. It was a great car, so comfortable, and just the ticket for turning up to Vauxhall School of Building in with all my friends. By 18, I was fed up with people thinking I was a minicab in the Granada, so I went and got myself a Triumph TR6. That was a fabulous car and I loved it. My car history rolled on with various Triumphs. I had a Stag, a Vitesse, a Spitfire, a Triumph TR2. One car I particularly remember in the mid-80s was a Talbot Sunbeam Lotus. That was an amazingly quick car, and there's actually a hark back to my Jensen Healey. They share the same engine really. My Jensen Healey story started, strangely enough, with a phone call on the way home from work. The farmer who owned the barn where my caravan was stored was calling to tell me that the barn was on fire. By the time I got there, the fire was out, but my caravan was written off. We'd moved to the Cotswolds a couple of years before and we hadn't really used the caravan much, so I wasn't overly enthusiastic about buying a new one. I did have a nice insurance cheque in my pocket and my mind started turning to the TR6, which, as I say, I used to absolutely love, but I soon realised that my budget really wouldn't stretch to one. I started casting around thinking of other cars from the era, and my mind turned to the pretty little Jensen Healey with the Lotus 16-valve engine, conceived by Donald Healey, with a body designed by William Towns of Aston Martin DBS fame. I thought there's a lot to like about this car, so I started delving into it a bit deeper. I eventually found one that had been in the same family for 16 years. It was okay, it wasn't perfect, but it was a really good starting point. So I bought that, and Vera, as she is known from her registration, came home with me. After about a year of ownership, I went out for a Saturday morning drive, and I was just thinking about coming home when the engine just stopped dead. The cam belt slipped. That exotic 16-valve engine managed to mostly destroy itself with 10 bent valves. So that was really the start of quite a major restoration. I sent the engine off to a specialist for a full fat rebuild, using a later 2.2 litre specification and higher compression pistons, bigger carburetors. I was really pleased when the engine builder sent me the bench dyno results for it. It left the factory with about 140 brake horsepower and it was now putting out 219. While the engine was at the engine builders, I sent the body off for new floors and a fresh coat of paint. Once they got the paint off of her, all of the previous bodged repairs and rampant rust became apparent, and she ended up with 1,000 hours of body work and paint. There was 2 years of cold weekends spent in the garage trying to get it all together. Finally, she was ready to start for the first time. She roared into life on the first hit of the key. It was a huge milestone for me and really renewed my enthusiasm. As my work was almost complete, the time came to find another specialist to re-upholster the car. I did this just as the pandemic hit, and what I thought would take a couple of months ended up taking a year. I gave myself a target of driving the car on the anniversary of when I blew it up. It was actually ready a couple of days before, but I held out and drove it on the exact day. I thought it would be a nice ending to the story. calculated the power to weight ratio, and she would be the same as a Subaru Impreza WRX STI of the mid-90s, but she doesn't have four-wheel drive or limited slip differentials or any of the electronic gizmos to keep the driver in control. She really is amazing and well capable of keeping up with modern traffic. So looking back at my original plan for a TR6, am I at all disappointed with ending up with a Jensen Healey? No, I'm not. No, they're like cars of a different era. The TR6 is no doubt about it, it's a much more hairy-chested sports car, whereas the Jensen Healey is much more refined, it's much more comfortable. It feels more like a rapier than a sword. It feels like the next generation vehicle, and with the 2.2 litre engine in it, I'm pretty sure it's the car that Donald Healey always envisaged. I can't really see myself ever selling it. I absolutely love driving the car. I love chatting to people about it as well. It's so unusual, people are very interested in it. It's quite funny at car shows, if I've got the bonnet up, I'll see people standing on tiptoes trying to read the bonnet badge because they can't quite work out what it is. It really is a pleasure to own her and a great conversation piece. So if you see one of these beautiful little cars driving along the road, you'll understand why the driver's looking so smug. They really are one of the best kept secrets in the classic car world.